Hi there. In this video, we're going to look at the last major railway built in Tasmania. The Bell Bay line is a major freight line running from East Tamar Junction in the suburbs of Launceston through the Tamar Valley to the industrial port of Bell Bay on Port Dalrymple. As mentioned a moment ago, this was the last major railway line to open in Tasmania, with operations beginning in 1973. Despite the construction of passenger facilities, the line never saw passenger service, and as far as I'm aware, it was the only railway in Tasmania in history never to see passenger service of any kind. So without further ado, let's jump into the history of this line. Before we continue, if you want to talk to fellow transport nerds in Tasmania, come join my Discord server. There's a link to it in the description. The first recorded proposal for a railway to Bell Bay came back in 1920, when the Mercury reported the Launceston Marine Board planned to lobby the state government for a branch line between Karoula and Bell Bay. I commissioned into the proposal from 1914 as reference, but I cannot find details on it. The next time I can find reference is from the late 1960s, proposals for woodchip mills at Long Reach, whose proposals resurface. There are three main segments: the line between Coldwater Creek Junction and Bell Bay, a branch line to the pulp mills at Long Reach, and a new alignment from a new marshalling yard at East Tamar Junction through to Rocherlea, replacing the old alignment of the North East line. In 1972, construction began on the Long Reach branch and the line from Long Reach Junction to Coldwater Creek Junction. Work was done by contractors Leighton Constructions and Taylor Railtrack. The works yard was constructed on the northeast line at Rocherlea, and X and later Z-class locomotives used to haul works trains out on the remote line. The section between Coldwater Creek Junction and Long Reach Junction opened on the 1st of February 1973. The branch to Long Reach opened at the same time. This serviced the mills operated by the Associated Pulp and Paper Mills and the Northern Woodchips facility. Construction on the remaining segments continued, with the line from Long Reach Junction to Bell Bay opening on the 17th of May 1974. During this period, there were significant problems with bringing traffic over the older line between Rocherlea and Launceston, with poor track quality and load limits affecting capacity. This was addressed when a new freight bypass through the eastern suburbs was opened on the 18th of September 1974. Now the bypass was built, the old line was planned to be closed and the industrial area of Mowbray would be cut off from the state's rail network. This was addressed when a short branch line was constructed from Mowbray Junction on the new line to Mowbray on the old line to service the area. The line was used as a shunting movement from East Tamar Junction, however in late years it became little used and predominantly functioned as a storage site for disused locomotives. Initially, traffic on the line was plentiful. There were 3 daily log trains from East Tamar to Long Reach, returning empty, twice weekly return goods to Bell Bay, and while I cannot find a source to confirm it, there was reportedly a twice daily rail motor service to Georgetown during part of 1975. The modern and powerful Z-class locomotives were used on most services, with the X-class brought out at times, and the V and W classes on the Mowbray shunting trip. Traffic on the line slowly declined over the years, and by 1994 there was only an intermittent service to Long Reach. By 1995 there were 2 daily trains on the line, being one to Bell Bay and one to Long Reach. In 1997, traffic ceased entirely on the Long Reach branch before resuming in 1999, however this did not last long and the line closed permanently in 2003 and remains largely in situ to this date. Meanwhile, traffic on the Bell Bay segment was growing. In 2001, a new siding to the Artec woodchip plant opened, dramatically increasing traffic. Very little happened over the next decade until 2014 when the Mowbray line closed formally. The next year bad news came when a major landslip caused the section of line down to the port at Bell Bay to be closed. Despite this, Tasrail decided that instead of closing the line, they would complete a major upgrade at the Georgetown yard into a standalone facility and recommence container traffic of the line. Log traffic on the line grew significantly in the 4 years after that, and traffic on the line has been overall on the uptick recently. Alright, this moves me to the end of this shorter video on a fascinating railway in Tasmania. I wish there was more to say about this line, but the lack of passenger service combined with the short history of the line means there isn't too much to add. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time on Tasmanian.